We're going to kick it off here. So I hope that you're doing wonderful today. We're going to kick it off here. All right, so my name is Lisha Antica, and I am so grateful that you are visiting here today. And I was deemed many moons ago the trauma transformer, and as I jumped in to do this first live in this way, I'm like, wow, yeah, let's do this. We're going to transform some trauma today. And specifically, we're going to transform trauma around your value. And why this is so important is because we all want to live comfortably. We all want to be seen as good, as acceptable enough. We all want to be appreciated, right? Gratitude is one of the biggest, most amazing, profound, beautiful emotions. It is known to cure cancer. It's known to help people heal when we focus our mind on gratitude. Appreciation is that receiving of the gratitude. To be appreciated, right? Is like you get that gratitude like flooded on you. And it is one of the most beautiful emotions, and we all want that. And that is value. That's value. And when you have a value issue, and I'll give you some examples of it before we jump in here today, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It can block you in many ways. It can block you from attracting friends and partners and that see your value, that reflect your value to you, right? So you might attract people that are picky or narcissistic or want you to change or think they need to fix you. You might even be convinced that you need to be fixed yourself. I know I was for years. And you might even realize that you don't need to be fixed, right? So you're at that point in your journey of healing that you don't need to be fixed, but you need this validation. Your value comes from the external world. And that's because you were told it was unsafe to value yourself. You were told you were wrong when you wanted and needed that. It's okay, babe, you're good enough. So today we're going to do that. And I want to thank my new friend, truly a godsend miracle for these events. Milton. So thank you, Milton Howard Jr., for this beautiful music. He puts it all together. I'll put a link to his profile. I am so blessed for his permission to use this. This is creating your story. So we're working on a vibrational tone. So go ahead and just allow the music to help you connect and your breath. So as I tell you some of these scenarios, I invite you to just connect with the stories I'm about to tell you, because you want to bring up the energy that you are going to create your new story around. And then we are going to transform them. So I work as a trauma transformer in different ways. I have many different modalities to work with my private clients and group clients to figure out where you are and what works for you. In this particular modality, though, this is the fastest, when received, this is the fastest transformation that I can offer. And what I mean by that is we're going to be working with energy. We're going to be working with your soul. And you're safe to go as deeply or as lightly as you would like in this transformation. This is a formula through the 6 personal power zones, that methodology, and the trauma transformation guides that I lead and have been leading. Now, if this sounds like wookie to you, it's okay. The more you can relax and trust and be open to, well, maybe I'll just do this. Maybe I'll give it my 100% and see what happens. Just be open, curious, the more you're going to get from this. And my intention is to set you free, to end the cycle of this devaluing pain that has affected your life in any way, so you can step into your value, so you can lean into your value. Oh, I'm looking at two cameras, so sorry guys. And see your value and really honor yourself, and then begin to see that reflected back to you from the world, right? In all the ways that it can be reflected back to you. I'm going to tell you a few stories now as we jump into this experience, so you can pull up this vibration, right? So we're working with the energy. So I want you to feel it. Maybe let some stories of your own come up about any value trauma that you have. And we're going to just work into this experience. So one way that trauma shows up for many of my clients, and definitely me, around money, is being told or shown that, no, we just weren't allowed to, we weren't valued in some way. Now, if you know me, you know my work, you know that I work with a lot of people with childhood trauma, and sometimes sexual childhood trauma. And that sexual childhood trauma is probably the biggest anti-validation, right? You become the object. You don't have value enough to make your own choices, to be in charge of your own body, right? Like, so that devaluing is definitely that way. If you've been neglected, right? These are the biggies, right? So if you were neglected as a child, this has layers and is a biggie. And I can support you walking through those layers, across those bridges, and back to this place of wholeness, of comfortable, of hell yeah. All right. So a couple ways that it showed up for me, though, that are lighter are, when I was growing up, I had quarter horses. So I had we had 8 quarter horses, and we boarded them at a place. We didn't have a farm, we boarded them. And those quarter horses just sucked my parents dry financially. And then both my parents had like their own money things going on, and different jobs and whatever was happening in that arena. But the part that really sticks out to me is, and this will totally age me, but everybody was wearing stacked socks. So you had like a pink pair of socks, and then a white pair of socks, and another pair of pink socks, or like 3 different colors, and you'd wear these socks to school. And I have thick ankles. Thanks, Dad, I guess. And I just really wanted these socks. I really did. And I couldn't get the socks. My parents told me that they didn't have enough for socks. And that wasn't the first time. It definitely wasn't the last time. We didn't have money for anything extra, any new clothes, anything extra. But that trained me as a kid to accept the hand-me-downs, to accept what I got, to be contented as much as possible with what I want. But also, it also taught me a belief that says I can't have what I want. Okay. So throughout my adulthood, even when I was in a very successful partnership, my ex-husband is very talented and did some great things, and we were blessed. And so, I'm there, and I still couldn't afford myself. I could get education and certifications and do things to better myself, to fix myself, to unbroken myself, to prove myself, to prove and try to people please or be good enough or all these things to that level, right? But I couldn't just go buy some fancy clothes, even though we could afford it. I couldn't just drive that car, even though we could afford it, right? So all of that said, these are some ways that you might have felt devalued, that this value has come up in your life, and maybe you can relate. All right, it's just going to feel this, because your perception and the expectation of it. So I just talked about those two things, your perception of it and your expectation of it, right? Or your fear of having it or not having it, that attachment, that importance that it plays in your life, really shape your creation. Now, the catch-22 to that, you guys, is that we have all of this inner child programming, nervous system programming that life just taught us along the way. Could be big ones that happen when we're in trauma, and a trauma is anything that blows your circuits that you were unable to manage at the time of it happened. Like anything, right? Can be traumatic, including the socks, right? It sucks. So don't say, oh, but, right? If it's showing up in your life, if you're seeing it in your life show up in any way, and you wish things were different. You wish that you had people that really encouraged you instead of picked you apart. It was a big shift for me. I had to let go of friendships that I had for a long time because people were I had accepted the role of them picking me apart and me being the lesser, the dumber. I even created that role for myself, actually. And I eventually just had to let it go. Right? So this is for you to let it go. And then what happens is you begin to attract new people in your life that see your value, that appreciate you for who you are, that love you in this deep way. So this value comes with the opposite, which is lack mentality. So we're going to be clearing lack mentality, making it go away, making it absolutely just go away. And when I say absolutely go away, what I mean is it doesn't have total power over you. Meaning you can now see it show up in the external and show up on your internal dialogue with yourself and go, oh, there's lack mentality, without going, I have to kill lack mentality. I have to get rid of lack mentality. I have to outlack lack, right? Like that proving does not work, or at least it hasn't for me. I don't think it does when we're in survival mode, and that survival mode actually saved our lives. So if you went through childhood trauma, we have a whole different makeup, and I teach that in my Amazing programs and private coaching, and then definitely in Paradise Awaits, how we think differently, how your nervous system is normal for our community, right? The community of people that have survived childhood trauma. Okay. So we have this lack mentality, many of us, and it can affect you in many ways. You can attract partners that don't appreciate you, right? You can attract bosses that keep throwing you work, but don't give you a raise or don't say thank you, don't appreciate you. You can attract this, I'm not appreciative. I can never do enough. I can never be enough. Many of my clients are really successful. Like they've been in their careers for many years. They're nurses and doctors and chiropractors and real estate agents and pilots and trade sales and like, oh my gosh, a pharmacist and like really successful people, right? With huge hearts, and they just strive to prove their value. It's so much work. It's fucking exhausting. I know. I've done it. I'm at the end of the PhD and I'm seeing the whole thing, right? Going, okay. I needed this so I can finally not prove, because I needed to convince myself. So if you've been trying to convince yourself that you're enough, that you're valuable by achieving, this is one way it shows up. There are different levels of meditation. So in this, you can either focus on one thing in front of you, let the music wash over you. I would lay down, so definitely find a comfortable place if you're able to, closing your eyes. And this whole process is going to be about 10 minutes maybe. We'll see how long it goes. And we're going to be really moving through this value piece. It's being valuable, like a gem, like a really precious, beautiful antique piece of furniture. Really valuable, really lovely, really unique. That's who you are. I'll say that to myself too. So we're going to remove object mentality. So we're going to stay with this feeling of feeling like an object is more valuable than you, or that you have to do something, right? In order to be valuable, more valuable than the horses for me, more valuable than a business adventure, right? More valuable than a little mistake or grammar error, right? Whatever that is. And then if you were abused, especially physically and sexually, then there's this place within us that we feel like we are objectified. So and this is for men and women, you guys, so I don't want to cut anything off, but you feel this ugh feeling, right? When somebody's like, you're hot, hey baby, yeah, right? Ooh, I want you, blah, blah, blah. That's objectification, right? A guy coming over and just sleeping with you and then leaving and not saying anything and not texting and not responding and doing this, that's objectification. So either if you're giving it or you're receiving it, you still suffer from objectification. It still blocks your value. It doesn't matter if you're receiving it or giving it, if you're in the masculine or the feminine role there. I know women do it all the time, right? You use a guy for his money or you just don't value him in some way, right? And we just expect them to do all the work and do everything. And we get to sit around at home and have bonbons, which has really never been the case unless you were an empress, and that was still not the case because you had a lot of decisions to make and everything. But you didn't have to go off to war, I guess. So we're going to be shifting this objectification. So to begin, just place your hand on your heart and lay down and close your eyes. And when we begin transformation, we begin by connecting with the part of ourselves, our physical body. So what I would like you to do is just rub your hands on your thighs. Down your legs, wiggle your toes, feel your feet, feel your shoulders, and you're just going to get in your body. So for many of us, we kind of live out of our bodies, we live in our heads, we live in our emotions, or we just totally live out of our bodies, kind of like viewing from above. But we want to get behind our eyes. So bring your awareness behind your eyes, closing your eyelids or keeping them open, staring at one thing. If closing your eyes makes you nervous, you want to keep the nervous system as relaxed as possible. You can look at a flame or look at a picture. And just take some breaths and feel this music. Tune in to the possibility of creating a new story. Just feel this. So the first place to transform anything is accepting what was or what is. Feel your body. Feel that sensation. Move your breath deep into your belly. Inhaling nice and deep. Hold your breath on top. And then exhale really, really slow. So anytime that you feel as if you can't hold on, like you don't want to go further on this, you have some resistance to this process, I want to welcome you first before you jump up, which you probably won't do anyway, but if that happens, but to just come to your breath, release your thoughts and come to your breath. We're going to fix your mind on a color. So visualize any color in the rainbow. And we're going to bring up a memory of being devalued, of having to give up a part of yourself and people please. Maybe not feeling appreciated when you did so much work and put your all into something. Maybe it was a feeling of less than around friends or family. Maybe it was a feeling of being enslaved in any way. And just bring that up just until you're comfortable with it. So imagine it's a ball of energy, a ball of memory, right? And you're just going to let it expand until it gets a little bit like, nope, I'm not going further than that. And then don't stretch it, just be with it. You want to go to where you can accept what was. Remember, we're working with energy here. And you're going to go ahead and visualize this energy, and this feeling of objectification, of lack, devalued, of not enough. And just feel it for a moment. See it. You can pull it out of you, like a ball out of you, and put it in front of you. And just recognize it. What color is it? If it had a hiding place in your body, where would it be hiding? Like for me, I kind of feel this chip on my shoulder, which I've never felt before. It's like right here. Okay. So I'm going to just take that chip on my shoulder and recognize it. Just accept it. Accept right where it is. And feel that value, lack of value. And then just feel this part of you, this witness that is witnessing your experience, that is feeling your body, that is visualizing this emotion, this experience, these stories in front of you in the form of this ball. This feeling where this energy has been tied to your physical body, to your health and your well-being, like in your body. You can recognize it when it comes up for a warning, when it's going to share with you, oh, don't devalue yourself. You might even invite your body to tune you back in gently and kindly with love and compassion. And then allow some of this pain, this story to begin to unravel and just bring some more energy into this ball in front of you. Any place where you're still proving, where you're efforting, where you're trying not to hurt anybody's feelings, when you're trying to overwork, overgive, overdo, where you're hurt and you're not feeling appreciated, where this devaluing, this objectification is showing up in your life. And just let all of those stories just flood in here. Don't try to analyze them, really try not to look at them. You've already survived, you've already been there, you are safe. Go ahead and just put it in here. Just feel that lightness in your body. Bring your awareness back into your breath. And whatever you believe is your higher source, power greater than yourself, and the power of us collectively, we're just going to kind of kick this ball, let it be burned up by the sun, dissolving it physically, resolving it mentally, transforming it emotionally, transcending it etherically, letting it go. As you do that, bring your hand to your heart and take a few deep breaths and just notice that there might be a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of tension, a little bit of, oh my gosh, what's next? And take a deep breath. I want to invite you into transformation. Get curious. What is possible on the other side? What is possible through acceptance? You're no longer fighting any part of that story or that energy, that feeling in your life. And you're no longer believing it coming out from the world. All of that is gone. It's been there. You can see it clearly now. What is possible instead? What is possible instead? In its place. Breathe. Feel that possibility as if you're walking through you and your higher self and your inner child. Take hands. I'm getting curious, what does value mean to me? How does my value show up for me? Is it in the form of a partner that looks at you adoringly? Is it in the form of money, supply, and resources? Is it in the form of validation for yourself, just really allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to please yourself, to be your own guide, your own choices, to trust your intuition, to be enough, and see that reflected in every area of your life. If you own a business, in your business. If you have a job, in a raise, and with gratitude and thank you. And your partner just seeing you with totally different eyes, with your body releasing stress, being able to release weight or gain weight. How you show up, what is your value look like? Isn't it you're walking through a tunnel that is lit up with beautiful energy and crystals and love, and you're walking out into the light where you can see clearly what and who are you? Stepping in your full value. What does life look like for you now? Can you recognize how it's already showing up in this present moment? when you're present and right now? Can you see the friendships that shine because they see and honor your value in their life? Can you feel, maybe your ideal clients, customers, feel them with gratitude. Feel your body and health and well-being. Knowing that you're now like eating what is highest value, high value food, high value life, high value habits, high value priorities. You are bringing high value to the world. What does that look like for you? Give yourself permission to recognize your value, to honor yourself and your value, to give through pleasure and joy your value, to be prosperous, protected, adored, honored, appreciated, loved as you are, and witnessing all of the value that you bring to your world around you, the care for your family and friends, the fun, the laughter, the support, the encouragement. Maybe it's gifts, teachings, coachings, books. Give yourself permission to do the unthinkable before and tell yourself, I am enough. I do enough. I like me. I choose who to be from inside me, and I deliver myself onto the world with love and value. Fill up on your own generosity and see your cup runneth over. Begin to wiggle your toes, feel your thighs, and bring this new awareness into your body. Coming back to that beautiful color, if you've gone away from it, that you're visualizing. Fill up through your nervous system, through your cells, through your RNA, through intention, through your bloodstream. This value of self. Whenever you're ready, bring your awareness, your attention back to behind your eyes. Lengthen through your neck. Stretch through your body. Ground this new transformation. And open your eyes. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for allowing me to share this beautiful transformation. And I'll be doing more transformations. This means so much to me. I hope that you enjoy today. I hope that this is life-changing for you. And please leave a comment below. Let me know how it goes. Let me know how it is in a couple days for you. Drink plenty of water. Let your body and mind and feelings come to this place. If you're pulled into any of your old stories, I welcome you to witness them, accept them, and release them. Let them go. Coming back into this place. If you'd like to know more about working with me privately, I have many ways that I work with people. I have small courses online. I have a monthly membership where you can get this guided medication, right? Meditation, other transformations, and access to all of my mini classes and courses and all 6 of your personal power zones. And then I, of course, do private and group coaching. I have my books as well. If you'd like to speak with me, though, go to lishaantica.com and schedule a consultation to see where it'll just serve you best to start. And I'm really here to help you transform your life, transform your relationships, and transform your trauma. Talk to you soon. To learn how to do this.